This song is called Alice's Restaurant. It's about Alice and a restaurant, but Alice's Restaurant. It's not the name of the song. It's just I call the song Alice's Restaurant. It's a song that I wrote. I used to babysit on Logan Country. He got it from me, actually. Hello, Storm. Hello, Crafty. How are you? We're just gonna sing Alice's Restaurant. As soon as it comes around on the no guitar here, thank you guys for being here. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can get anything you want at Edna's Restaurant. Hey, walk right in, it's around the back. Just a half mile from the railroad track. And you can get anything you want at Edna's Restaurant. Well, anyway, it all started 2 Thanksgivings ago. It was 2 years ago. Okay, on Thanksgiving, me and my friend, we went up to visit Alice at the restaurant. But Alice doesn't live there at the restaurant. She lives at the church, near by the restaurant in the Belt Tower there, with her husband Ray and Portia the dog. He tried to eat me, and a little Bell Tower like that. They got a lot of room downstairs where the pews used to be, and having all that room, as they they took out all the pews. They decided that they didn't have to take out their garbage for a real long time. So, we got up there, we found all the garbage in there. We decided, it would be a nice little friendly gesture, just to take the garbage down to the dump over there, So, we took a half friggin' ton of friggin' garbage, put it in the back of a red VW microbus, the shovels and rakes, and implemented some destruction and headed toward the city dump, Well, we got there, there's a big giant sign and a chain across the dump saying closed on Thanksgiving. We never heard of such a ridiculous thing. Being closed on Thanksgiving, what are you talking about? With tears in our eyes, we drove off into the sunset looking for another place to put the garbage. We didn't find one, though. That was until we came to a side road. And on the side of the side road, there was a 15-foot cliff. And at the bottom of the cliff there was, there's another pile of garbage. So, we decided that one big pile is better than 2 little piles. Rather than bring that one up, we threw ours down. Yeah. That's what we did. So we drove back to the church and another Thanksgiving dinner. It couldn't be beat. We went to sleep. We did get up until the next morning when we got a phone call from Officer Obi. He said, "Kid, we found your name on an envelope at the bottom of a half-ton of garbage. We just wanted to know if you had any information about it." And, I said, yes, sir, Officer Obi, I cannot tell a lie. I put that envelope on that garbage there, And after speaking for Obi for about 45 minutes in the telephone, we finally arrived at the truth of the matter. He said we had to go down and pick up all the garbage. We had to go down and speak to him at the police officer station, So we got in the red VW microbus with the shovels and brakes and implements of destruction and headed on toward the police officer station. Now, friends, there was only 1 or 2 things that Obi could have done at that police station. The first was he could have given us a friggin' medal for being so friggin' brave and honest on the telephone, and, it wasn't very likely. We didn't expect none of it. And the other thing is, he could have hauled us down and told us never to be seen driving garbage around the vicinity again, which is what we expected, but, we got there, friends, and it was a third possibility we haven't even counted upon. We were both immediately arrested. Me and Blue's here. Oh, jeez. What are we gonna do? Handcuffed. I said, Obi, I I don't think I can pick up the garbage with all these handcuffs on. He's this, shut up, kid. Get in the back of the patrol car. So, that's what I did. We both, me and Blue, did. We sat in the back of the patrol car and drove to the quote-unquote scene of the crime. I want to tell you about the down in Stockbridge, Massachusetts, where this happened, folks. Listen, they got 3 stop signs. They got 2 police officers, 1 police car. But when we got to the scene of the crime, there was 5 of them, 5 police officers, that's right, and 3 police cars, being the biggest crime of the last 50 years, and everybody wanted to get a newspaper story about it. Oh, jeez. I was using up all kinds of cop equipment that they had hanging around there at the police officer station. They were taking plaster, tire tracks, and footprints, and dog smelling prints, and they took 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with the circles and arrows in the paragraph on the back of each one, explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. They took pictures of the approach, of the getaway, the northwest corner, the southwest corner, and that's not even to mention that for friggin' aerial photography. Jeez, they went all out, these guys. After the ordeal, we went back to jail. Obi said he was gonna put us in the cell. He said, kid, I'm gonna put you in the cell. I want your wallet, I want your bell. And I said, Obi, I can understand you want my wallet. I don't have no money to be spending in the cell. But what do you want my belt for? He said, kid, we don't want any hangings. I said, Obi, do you think I was gonna hang myself for littering? And over that, he was making sure and friends Obi was, because he took the freaking toilet seat out, so I couldn't even hit my head or myself over the head and drown. He took the toilet paper, rolled out of there, so I couldn't bend the bars out of the freaking roll it out of the window and jump out and have a freaking escape. You know what I'm saying? Obi was making sure. It was about 4 or 5 hours later than Alice. Remember Alice? This is a song about Alice. Alice, she came by with a few nasty words, the Obi on the side, bailed us out of jail. And then we went back to the church and had another Thanksgiving dinner. That couldn't be beat. I tell you, it was great. And, we didn't get up until the next morning when we all had to go down there and go to friggin' court. Oh, jeez. We walked in, sat down, and Obi came in with the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures with the circles and the arrows in the freaking paragraph on the back of each one, and sat down. The man came in and said, all rise. We all stood up, and I admit I clucked a little. I'm getting old. We stood up, and Obi stood up with the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures, and the judge walked in and sat down with us. The dog. He sat down. And we sat down. Obi looked at the CNI dog, And then at the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures with the circles and arrows, and then at the CNI dog. And then at the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures with the circles and arrows and the paragraph on the back of each one, and he began to cry because, we came to the realization that it was just a typical case of American blind justice, and there wasn't nothing he could do about it, I tell you. The judge wasn't gonna look at the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures with the circles and the arrows and the paragraph on the back of each one, explaining what each one was to be used as evidence against us. Jeez. We was fined $50, we had to pick up the garbage out there in the friggin' snow, but the snow was what I came to tell you about, friends. I came to talk about the draft. They got a building down there, New York City. Hey, I've been there. Have you been there? I've been there. Blues. Don't worry about him, he's stoned. They got a building in New York City. It's called Whitehall Street, where you walk in, you get injected, inspected, detected, infected, neglected, and selected. I went down to get my physical examination one day, and I walk in and sat down, got good drunk the night before, so I felt my best. Went in there in the morning, cause I want to be the all-American chicken from New York City, man. You know, I just want to be, I just want to be the all-American clucker from New York. You know, I walked in that I was hung up, baby. I was brung down, hung up, and all the kind of mean, nasty, ugly things. I walk in and sat down, and they gave me a piece of paper. They said, "Kid, psychiatrist, room 604." So, you know, I went up there and I said, "Straight, I want to kill. I mean, I want to see blood, gut, gore, veins in my teeth. I want to eat dead boy bodies. I mean, kill. Oh, jeez, oh my God, I started jumping up and down, swinging, I want to chew on him, it's the one, my God. The sergeant came over, you know, he pinned the medal on me. He said, you know, you're a Goyle. Why don't you go on down the hall there? You know, and so I proceeded on down the hall, getting more inspections, injections, detections, knee collections, all kind of stuff they threw to me there, you know. And I was there for like 2 hours or so, you know, 3 hours maybe, 4 hours I think. I was there for a long time, you know, going through all kind of meat, the nasty other things. I was just having a real tough time. Yeah, I was pecking at the ground. I was quite hungry. You know, they was inspected, injected, every single part of me. They were leaving no part untouched. Proceeded through it, and I finally came to see the last man. I walked in and sat down at the opening thing. Yeah, I walked up there. He said, "What do you want?" And he said, "Kid, we only got one question. Have you ever been arrested?" So, you know, I proceeded to tell him the story, okay? I told him the whole thing. The Alice's Restaurant Massacre with the full orchestration and the 5-part harmony and stuff like that. And I stopped him right there and he said, "Kid, did you ever go to court?" I proceeded to tell him, the story of the 27 8x10 color glossy pictures with the circles and the arrows in the paragraph on the back of each one. And he stopped me right there. He said, "Kid, I want you to go down and sit on that bench that says Group W. Now, kid." Oh, jeez. I walked over to the bench there, you know, the Group W bench. This is where they put you. You may not be moral enough to join the army, you know, after committing your special crime. There was all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly-looking people there on the bench, you know, for bringing mother rapers, father stabbers, father rapers. Oh, jeez. All the rapists right there. He's right there right there. The bench next to me, man. And there was the mean, nasty, ugly, and horrible crime type guy sitting on the bench, and the meanest, the nastiest, ugly one of them all. He came over, he sat down next to me, and he said, "Kid, what'd you get?" Well, you know, I said, well, I get into nothing, you know. I had to pay $50 to go pick up the garbage. And he said, "What were you arrested for, kid?" You know, I said, well, littering. And, you know, they all moved away from me on the bench there. The hairy eyeball and all kinds of mean, nasty things until I said, began creating a nuisance, and then they all came back and shook my hand. We had a great time on the bench. They're talking about crime and mother snapping and father raping, all kind of the groovy things that we were talking about on the bench. And everything was fine until we were smoking cigarettes and all kind of things. The sergeant came over. He had a paper in his hand there. He had a paper in his hand, and he came over, he said, "Kid, this piece of paper's got 47 words, 37 cents, 58 words. We want to know the details of the crime. We want to know the time of the crime. We want to know the things that pertain about the crime. We want to know the arresting officer's name and any kind of thing you got to say." He talked like that for 45 friggin' minutes. Nobody understood a word he said. But we had fun filling out the forms and playing with pencils on the bench there, and I just filled out the master's degree with the 5-point harmony and wrote it down there just like it was, and everything was fine. Okay. I put down the pencil and I toyed over the piece of paper on the other side. And in the middle of the other side, far away from everything else, okay, on the other side, in the center of the other side, far away from everything else, in parentheses, capital letters, quotated, read the following words. "Kid, have you rehabilitated yourself?" I went over to the sergeant there and I said, "Sergeant, you got a lot of damn gall. Just to ask me if I rehabilitated myself. I mean, it's just that, I'm sitting here on the friggin' bench. I'm sitting here on the Group W bench because you want to know if I'm moral enough to join the army, boying women, kids, houses, and villages after being a friggin' litter bug." He looked at me. He did. And he said, "Kid, we don't like your kind. We're going to send your fingerprints off to Washington." Jeez. The friends somewhere in Washington enshrined in some little folder is a study in black and white of my claw marks. It's true. The only reason I'm thinking of you now is because you may know somebody, who's in a similar situation. They might not be a magical talking chicken like me, but they may be in a similar kind of situation. It's possible anyway. So if you're in a situation like that, there's only one thing you can do. You're gonna walk into where the shrink is, wherever it is that you live, and just walk in and you say, "Shrink can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant." And walk out. If two people, well, one guy does it, especially if you're dressed like me, in a chicken costume. If you walk in and just one person does it, they might think he's, really thick, and they just won't take him. But if two people do it in harmony, well, they might think that, they might both, have a, they might, and they won't take either one of them, I don't think so. And if three people do it, could you imagine if 3 people do it? 3 people just walking in, singing a bar or an Alice's restaurant, walking out, people, they might think it's an organization. And can you imagine 50 people a day, I live 50 people walking in and singing a bar, Alice's restaurant, or walking out in front. They might think it's a friggin' movement. And at my age, having any kind of movement's a good thing. Am I right, kids? All right. Metamucil, sponsor me. Anyway, that's what it is. The Alice's restaurant anti-master cream movement, and all you gotta do is join in the next time it comes around on the guitar here. With feeling. Here it is. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You could get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Walk right in, it's the roundabout. Just a handful boil from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at this restaurant. Did you see? I stuck it in. Okay, I just had to. I just, I don't actually have a restaurant. I just like the ring of that, But, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't help but notice that nobody was singing along in the chat. Listen, man, I've seen you guys do much better. That's all I'm saying. I've been singing this song for like 25 minutes. Look, I can sing it for another 25. I'm not proud or tired. So we'll wait until it comes back around on the guitar over there, and then we'll all sing it together. Are you ready? Let me see it in the emotes, please. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant, except in Edna. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Walk right in, it's the roundabout. Just the apple boil from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Edna's restaurant. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. At Alice's restaurant. Thank you, though, bud. Thank you, though, bud. Okay. Let me just... Where's the elevator? I just gotta press the button. Hold up. Boop. Okay. Bing. Thanks, everybody. Good night.